Alright guys, it's Ninja Chortle, and today I am reviewing the Samsung Gear VR, VR meaning virtual reality. I got it right here. It's really cool, and just to let you know, this is two videos. There are two videos sets for this entire thing. There's a written review that's on blurdy.com, and there's two videos that go along with it. This is the review video where I'm just reviewing it as a device. How good is it? Giving a rating. What does it do? All of that stuff. The second video, which is running right here, this is my demonstration. I'm completely embarrassed myself. I put the thing on and I show you what I look like using it, as well as show you what it looks like when you're using it, so you can see what I'm seeing as well as see me doing what you're seeing me do. Confusing, but check that out. If you're on YouTube, you can just click here. They should be links. It shouldn't be hard to find because I'm posting both videos at the same time, including on Facebook. Videos are going up at the exact same time, so you shouldn't have a hard time finding the other video if you wanted to see the demonstration. As far as the actual device, so the reason why I even have it, because if you asked me a month ago if you thought that I would ever get a virtual reality headset, I'd say, no, you're out of your mind. I'm not really interested in it. It costs too much. I am not going to be able to do that anytime soon. But then again, I ended up getting a phone call or a text, I think it was a phone call from Verizon Wireless saying that you're eligible for an upgrade on your phone. And I said, hell yeah, because my phone is getting a little full in storage and a little slow. And I love to get a Samsung Galaxy S7. Sounds great. I was thinking about it. And I go to the store and they said, oh yeah, you can upgrade your phone, but it's not free like they said in the phone call. We just said that to get you to come in the store. So I wrestled with the thought of buying a new phone because I really didn't want to. But the real reason why I did get a Samsung Galaxy S7 that day on the launch day, and it was the last one that they had because I went at the end of the day, was because of two reasons. At 32 gigs of storage, which is awesome, and it said you get a free Samsung Gear VR. Came in the mail a few days ago. And now I'm finally testing it out. This is the first time I've ever even experienced virtual reality outside of some arcade system thing from back in the 90s or whatever. Like, this is a Samsung Gear VR. It's powered by Oculus. So Oculus has the Oculus Rift, which, if you know anything about virtual reality and what's been going on in the gaming industry for the last few years, Oculus Rift is just coming in and taking it by storm. And this is a powered by that. It's still a Samsung device, but it is using Oculus technology. The Oculus Rift itself launched last month. I believe it was March 26th or 28th or something like that. And I don't know what the sales are for the Oculus Rift right now, but I would imagine it is going okay. I'm seeing a lot of news. I've posted quite a bit already on blurdy.com for virtual reality and some of the trailers and games. And we're going to get right into what I think of the device and what do you even use it for. So this again is powered by Oculus. It's basically using some of that technology, but it is not the Oculus Rift. It is the Samsung Gear VR. It is made for Samsung devices, particularly the phones. So it works directly with the phone. I have to plug my phone into the headset for it to work. And if you're wondering, it works with the Samsung Galaxy S7 and the S7 Edge, the Galaxy S6, the 6 Edge, and the Galaxy, excuse me, not Galaxy, but the Note 5. So if you have any of those 5 phones, this headset will work with virtual reality with that. And you're just going to plug it in, and I'll show you that here. It plugs in right here. There's a little USB port right there. If you can see, I can't tell, but it plugs in right there. and it folds in the front of the I'm holding it wrong there, that way. So once it's in, it turns your phone into basically the processor for the virtual reality, and these two eye holes there will give you the video feed from the screen of your phone, and you'll be in virtual reality, 360 degrees of fake awesome stuff. Now, again, it is powered by Oculus, and I am happy to say, because I wasn't sure going into it, that most of the games and most of the apps that are Oculus enabled will work on this device, on the Samsung Gear VR. Most of them. That's not everything. So, why I say that, because if you were watching any of our older videos, back at Twitch Chicago in January, I met Cicero Holmes of the Spot on Me podcast, and he was telling me how much his favorite game at that time, which here's the interview if you want to check out the interview with Cicero, his favorite game was Elite Dangerous at that time, and he was playing it, and I hadn't even heard of that game until he said it. And when I looked it up, I was like, wow, that game actually looks pretty cool. I wouldn't mind checking it out. And Elite Dangerous is totally a game that you can play on Oculus Rift right now. It's a launch game with March 28th, or whenever, Oculus launched. You cannot play Elite Dangerous on the Samsung Gear VR because, again, it is powered by your cell phone. It is not as powerful as a computer, because the Oculus Ready computers also launched that day, and those computers are not cheap, and they have tons of technology to make them ready for processing all of the Oculus gear, all of the headset, and all of the things that comes with it. It is a gaming rig, for a lack of a better term, where your cell phone cannot do all of those high-end graphics and high-end processing. So some games won't be available, some apps won't be available as they are on the Oculus Rift. But there's still quite a bit, and there are still games that I can play on both the Oculus Rift and on the Samsung Gear VR. One of the cool things to do on the Samsung Gear VR is Netflix and any of the streaming services. So I did go through Netflix on the demonstration. However, it wouldn't allow me to do a screen capture or a video capture just because of copyrights and all of that stuff. But it is really cool to experience virtual reality with the Samsung Gear VR and just virtual reality in general. You're set up with you're on a couch, and you have a big screen, and you're watching Netflix on your big screen, and there's mountains, and when you're starting the movie or the TV show, the lights dim down low, and then the lights from the screen project onto all of the objects in front of you, and it's really cool, and it's for the most part pretty immersive. Like, there's everything. It's 360 degrees of pretty cool stuff. Now, don't get me wrong, it's not going to replace any viewing experience that you already have when you're watching Netflix. So if you watch Netflix on your big screen TV with your 7.1 surround system, it's not going to be better than that. In fact, the sound is going to come from your phone, your speaker on your phone, wherever it is, on whatever type of phone you have. So obviously that sound is not going to be as good as a subwoofer and all of the epicness of your sound bar that you have on your TV setup. You can use your headphone jack and give it maybe a stereo sound, or maybe have a good studio headphones, and you can listen to headphones while using the Samsung Gear VR. But again, that sound is not going to be as good as your sound bar or your stereo system that you have set up for your home. If you're watching Netflix on your computer, or maybe streaming on your Chromecast or something like that, maybe this is a different way you want to do it. But if you're doing Netflix and chill with your girlfriend, I don't know how that's going to work. And by Netflix and chill, I don't mean the other Netflix and chill. I mean actually watching Netflix and chilling out, just hanging out. That Netflix and chill. So it's cool, but if you're somebody like me that doesn't have anyone around, that you're only watching Netflix by yourself, it's a cool thing to do, and you can totally just have fun and just relax and be in virtual reality watching Jessica Jones or Daredevil or Breaking Bad or whatever it is that you want to watch on Netflix. The issue being two things. It's running off your phone. This has a battery, and this thing is going to cost you a lot of battery power really fast. So I don't know how well you're going to be able to binge watch all of the, which is what I'm doing right now, 700 episodes of One Piece. Actually, I'm not watching One Piece, but I'm watching Naruto, which is just as bad. How are you going to binge watch all of that in virtual reality? With your cell phone, it's impossible. It's going to die, run out of battery power, and it's going to do it really fast. Now, the Samsung Galaxy S7's battery is really, really good. I usually, when I'm not using virtual reality, I can go a whole day without charging my phone, and I use my phone all day long with Twitter and social media, Instagram, emails, and texting, and all of that. I use it literally all day. It hardly ever shuts off from the screen, and I can go a whole day without charging it because it has a really good battery. If I put it in virtual reality, say goodbye to my battery. It's gonna work for a little while, maybe a good hour, but it's not gonna be an all day thing. So I don't know how you're gonna be binge watching. You can, when you're watching, plug in your phone again through here, but then have a USB cord plugged in, and it will charge your phone while it's plugged into here. So that is an option. But the problem being is that if I'm doing this, and I'm trying to watch my shows, I'm going to have a USB cord plugged in here into the wall. What if I want to look over there? Now this plug would be pulling on my neck, and then it would affect not only my viewing experience, but what if I'm playing a game or running an app where I have to do this sort of thing? That's also going to affect your play performance as well. So you wouldn't really want it to be plugged in when you're using it. So there's that, but it is an option. And maybe you can find a very long USB cord so you can have a little slack when you're moving your head around, but you have to take that into consideration. The other problem is the heat generated. Again, this is running virtual reality on your phone. There's no fan on your phone, and Oculus Rift is working off your computer. So that computer has its own setup, and you're probably going to have a cooling system and all of that. Your phone doesn't have that, and it's going to heat up, and it does that faster than it burns through the battery power. Especially on some of those more intense apps and games. So you're going to be burning through this phone literally, and it's going to give you a warning, and it says your phone's overheating. Make sure you take a break and let your phone cool off, and if you don't, it's going to affect the performance. And you can totally see that in some of the apps, and especially when you're playing a game that the screen, the quality of the video is getting a little jittery and jumpy, and you're going to be all over the place when trying to play a game, and it's just not as fun when everything's jumping around. So, and it doesn't take much to get to that point either. I was playing Drift, and after maybe 10 to 15 minutes of play, it started to get too hot. It gave me the warning, and then I started seeing noticeable differences in the video that was getting jumpy and so on. So I had to stop playing. I let my phone charge back up because the battery's down, and let it cool off so I can start playing again. And lastly, the other issue with having a Samsung Gear, and which is just maybe an issue with virtual reality in general, is that it's a little nauseating. Now, this all depends on the app. Some apps are more sensitive to you than others, and some people are more sensitive to being in virtual reality than others. Now, yesterday is the first day that I tried this out, and yesterday the only thing I had for dinner before I tried this out was a granola bar and a large iced coffee from Dunkin' Donuts. I didn't eat well. and that's my own fault. But when I was trying Drift as an example, that was the one that got me, and I started feeling very nauseous when playing. And I'm not going to be able to show you any of that game because I don't want to run it right now. I also want to save individual apps and games for a possible review or maybe a quick sort of thing later on. I just want to talk broadly about virtual reality on the Samsung Gear VR, but that app did make me nauseous when playing it, and that again could be because of my eating habits yesterday, or that the game is very nauseating. So you have to take that into account as well when doing virtual reality and when using the Samsung Gear VR, that you might become sick. And I really did get upset. I didn't start feeling well until today in the afternoon, after eating some food and just resting. It took a while to recover, but again, take that into account before you venture into virtual reality. Now, I've said a lot of negative things. There are positive things. Like I said, Netflix is really cool. And if you want to check out my demonstration, again, make sure you go see the other video, and I can show you some of the cool things that you can experience while using virtual reality, while using the Samsung VR. It is a cool device, but do you really need it? I compare it to having a wearable tech like a Apple Watch or the Samsung watches or any of those things. You know, there's no one in the world that needs to have that, to have an Apple Watch. What do you need it for? It's like you can find a need for having an iPad. You can find a need for having a touch screen computer or something like that because it's more efficient or blah blah blah. This, you don't need an Apple Watch because you already have a cell phone that's a touch screen and so on. You don't need it. It's an extra thing that's nice to have, an extra thing that's cool to have, an extra thing to have. That's it. And as far as the Samsung Gear VR, you don't need it. It's something that is becoming more popular, prevalent, more affordable. It is $99 for anyone that didn't get it for free with their purchase of a Samsung phone. That's rather affordable. Compare that to the $600 that you would have to pay to get an Oculus Rift and that setup. And that's not including the computer that you need to run all of that stuff to have an Oculus ready computer. So $600 for just the headset and the gear, and the computer is additional. Compare that to $100 with this, plus your phone that you've already been paying for anyway. So it's a lot more affordable. And sure, it doesn't give you the 100% experience that a Oculus Rift does, but this watered down version of Oculus Rift is still functional. And I haven't tried all of the games. I haven't been able to because Oculus Rift, I don't have any friends that have it. So any of those multiplayer games, I can't try those. And then some games require a actual controller, a physical controller, which is $60. That is a Steel Series controller that is usable on Windows and on Android. So I don't have that at the moment, so I can't play those games. But the apps and games that don't require any of that, I've tried a few of those. I do like the solar system one, the Stargaze or whatever it's called. I really like that one a lot. I like the 360 Oculus Photo a lot. And there's really cool things that you can do with this. And it's just a beginning. It just launched Oculus Rift last month. I believe the Samsung Gear VR has been out for a little bit longer because the Samsung phones have been out. But this is still relatively new technology. And for me to have it now is pretty awesome. I didn't have to pay for it. If you're paying for it, then it's $100. It's not a bad thing to have. It might make a nice gift for someone younger, though I wouldn't recommend that you get it for kids at all, just because of the nauseating problem. It's hard to judge that in a child, but it's still a fun thing to have. And I say also, just with virtual reality in general, don't knock it till you try it. And this is truly a thing that you have to experience. I did the best job I could to show you that in the demonstration video, but you really have to put on the headset and play a game and experience the app and make a judgment call for yourself. I'm not saying that once you do it, you're going to love virtual reality. I'm just saying that once you do it, you now understand what it's like to be in virtual reality, and you can make a decision whether or not you like it or not, or whether you want to buy it, and so on. So in general, I am giving the Samsung Gear VR an 8 out of 10. That's this many fingers because I don't have a cool graphic yet. An 8 out of 10. It is a cool device. I do like it. I like it more than Batman v Superman, which I gave a 7.5. No, it's a cool device. Can't wait to get more into it and check it out. I did say again yesterday I got nauseous using the tech. Today I did eat a full meal. I'm a little bit more rested, but I didn't get nauseous at all, so I'm fine. So I'm assuming that was a reason why I got nauseous yesterday. So I'm definitely going to get more into it as the weeks and months go by. I look forward to going back and exploring some of these games and apps, and I might do a review. It might not be a very long review, but I might get into reviewing some of these games. I'm not going to buy everything. I'm not crazy about virtual reality yet, but now that I have this tool, I'm going to try to use it the best I can. Now again, the Oculus Rift is a whole nother thing as far as price point, but the games are similar. And let's not forget that PlayStation has their PlayStation VR, which is coming out in October, and I believe that price point is $400. So Oculus Rift is $600, PlayStation VR $400, and Samsung VR $100 plus buying a phone. I think Samsung has the best deal, obviously, as far as price and even value at the moment, because we don't know what PlayStation is going to do, and I'm also curious to see how many games will be available on all three, because that is something that is going to be very interesting. You know, Sony's going to have their games that only they make and will be only available on PlayStation VR, but third-party games, are there going to be games on each platform? That's going to be interesting, and I can't wait to find that out later in the year. I'll be doing the best I can to cover that. I don't know, I might get a PlayStation VR just for the hell of it. We'll see. But I'm Ninja Chortle. Thanks for watching this video. Again, make sure you check out the demonstration video, which is posted at the same time, so it shouldn't be hard to find. And look forward to seeing you guys next time I make videos. Peace. I just want to say thank you for watching this video. If you haven't already, please hit the like button, share the video with whatever social media you have, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We put up all types of videos as well as blog posts on our blog, blurdy.com, about gaming and comic books and cosplay, movies and TVs. We have reviews, we have previews, we just discuss whatever is happening in our nerdy world. So make sure you go and check us out. We're on Facebook, we're on Twitter, we're on Twitch, so you can watch us play games. And we also have an Instagram account which is 100% dedicated to cosplay. So if you are a cosplayer or just a cosplay lover, make sure you follow us on Instagram. But you're here on YouTube or maybe watching us on our blog, blurdy.com. So while you're here, make sure you start watching this video right here. Your jump. And she does a huge jump into the air, and it's absolutely awesome. Now, real quick, I'm going to show you that that's not something that every character can do. So, one of my other favorite characters in this game is Quicksilver, but he can't charge his jump. I just love the way he looks. He just looks great in this game. He's fun to use, but yeah, again,